Hello students, I'm Sai Baba here. So in my previous class, I started discussing about specific heats of a gas. So I'm going to continue the discussion about same thing. So in the previous class, I have discussed the term internal energy of the gas and work done by the gas when the volume of the gas changes. Then I started discussing about the specific heat of the gas. So I was discussing about specific heat at constant volume. So the amount of heat energy absorbed by fixed mass of the gas when its temperature changes at constant volume, when its temperature changes at constant volume by infinitesimally small amount dt is given by nu CV dt, where capital C subscript capital V represent the molar specific heat of the gas at constant volume. So dq subscript V represent the quantity of heat energy absorbed by the gas when its temperature changes by infinitesimally small amount dt from T to T plus dt. You represent the quantity of substance expressed in moles. You can also express this in terms of the ordinary specific heat at constant volume. The ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant volume is denoted by small c subscript small v. So small c subscript small v represent the ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant volume, which is expressed in calorie per gram per degree centigrade in the serious system, or it is expressed in joule per kg per degree Kelvin in SI system. All of you just concentrate to listen. I will show you the notes later. You can copy the notes later. So the ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant volume is numerically equal to the quantity of heat energy required to increase the temperature of unit mass of the gas by 1 degree centigrade, keeping the volume of the gas constant. So suppose if the ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant volume is given as CV calorie per gram per degree centigrade, it means the amount of heat required to increase the temperature of 1 gram of the gas by 1 degree centigrade, keeping its volume constant, is CV calories. So the amount of heat energy required to increase the temperature of m grams of the gas by 1 degree centigrade will be mCV calories. The amount of heat required to increase the temperature of m grams of the gas by delta T. That means delta T is increase in temperature gas expressed in either a degree Kelvin or degree centigrade, mCV delta T. Therefore, the heat energy absorbed by the gas when its temperature changes at constant volume, when the temperature gas changes by infinitesimally small amount dt at constant volume, can also be written as small m into small c to small v into dt. Small m represents the mass of the gas, small c subscript small v represents the ordinary specific heat of the gas or specific heat capacity of the gas at constant volume. That means you can write nu c capital C subscript capital V is equal to small m into small c subscript small v. So capital C subscript capital V represent the molar specific heat of the gas at constant volume. That means the specific heat is expressed per mole. It is called the molar specific heat. The specific heat is expressed per unit mass. It is called the ordinary specific heat. So number nu is represent the quantity of gas expressed in mole, which you can write small m by m naught. M naught represents molar mass of the gas or molecular weight of the gas. So molar specific heat at constant volume can be written as molar mass or molecular weight of the gas into ordinary specific heat at constant volume. Similarly, you can define specific heat at constant pressure. In a similar way, so the molar specific heat of the gas at constant pressure is denoted by capital C subscript capital P, which is numerically equal to the quantity of heat energy required to increase the temperature of 1 mole of the gas by 1 degree centigrade or 1 degree Kelvin. So, if the molar specific heat of the gas at constant pressure is given, I express as Cp calorie per mole per degree centigrade. I mean, expression. Then it means the amount of heat required to increase the temperature of 1 mole of the gas by 1 degree centigrade, keeping its pressure constant, will be Cp calories. So the quantity of heat energy required to increase the temperature of new moles of the gas by 1 degree centigrade, keeping its pressure constant, will be nu Cp calories. So the amount of heat energy absorbed by the gas when its temperature changes at constant pressure can be written nu capital C subscript capital P into delta T. Delta T is a change in the temperature of the gas. So you can write the temperature in the final temperature minus initial temperature gas. Ti is the initial temperature, Tf is the final temperature. Similarly, the ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant pressure is denoted by small c subscript small p. The ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant pressure represents the specific heat per unit mass. The specific heat is expressed per unit mass. It is called the ordinary specific heat. The CGS unit is expressed in calorie per gram per degree centigrade. The SI unit, it is expressed in joule per kg per degree Kelvin. So the ordinary specific heat at constant pressure denoted by small c subscript small p is numerically equal to the quantity of heat required to increase the temperature of unit mass of the gas by 1 degree centigrade or 1 degree Kelvin, keeping the pressure of the gas constant. So heat energy absorbed by the gas when it is heated at constant pressure in terms of ordinary specific heat can be written as small m into small c subscript small p into delta T. Small c subscript small p represents the ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant pressure. A specific heat capacity of the gas at constant pressure, which is expressed per unit mass. The molar specific heat at constant pressure is denoted by capital C subscript capital P. You can write molar specific heat at constant pressure equal to molecular weight of the gas or molar mass of the gas into ordinary specific heat at constant pressure. The molar specific heat at constant pressure is expressed per mole. That means it is expressed in calorie per mole per degree centigrade or joule per mole per degree Kelvin. The ordinary specific heat is expressed per unit mass. So in the CGS system, ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant pressure is expressed in calorie per gram per degree centigrade. In the SI system, the ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant pressure is expressed joule per kg per degree Kelvin. So I would like to summarize the discussion I have done about specific heat of the gas. So those who are copying the notes, please take care. Get ready with your notebook and pen. I am going to summarize the discussion which I have done about the specific heats of a gas. Look at the screen. I am going to read out the definition for the two different specific heats of the gas. The molar specific heat of a gas at constant volume, numerically equal to the amount of heat energy required to increase the temperature of 1 mole of the gas by 1 degree centigrade or by 1 degree Kelvin, keeping the volume of gas constant. The next point, I am going to give you the definition for ordinary specific heat. The ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant volume is numerically equal to the heat energy required to increase the temperature of unit mass of the gas by 1 degree centigrade or by 1 degree Kelvin, keeping the volume of the gas constant. Come on, those who want to copy the notes, they can take a pause and finish writing the notes now. I want to show the continuation to this. The quantity of heat energy absorbed by a fixed mass of gas when its temperature changes at a constant volume is given by delta Q subscript V is equal to nu capital C subscript capital V delta T, or delta Q subscript V equals small m small c subscript small v delta T. So small c subscript small v you write here, where capital C subscript capital V represent the molar specificity of the gas at constant volume. Nu is the quantity of gas expressed in mole. Delta T equal to change in the temperature of the gas. Small c subscript small v is equal to the ordinary specificity of the gas at constant volume. Come on, those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes. I'd like to show the continuation to this. Then look at the next slide here. In small m is the mass of the gas. Delta T equal to Tf minus Ti. That is, Ti is the temperature of the gas. I mean initial temperature of the gas. Tf is the final temperature of the gas. So now see here again. Those who are writing the notes, please take a pause, finish writing the notes. And small m equal to mass of the gas, we can write delta T equal to Tf minus Ti. Of course, it understood that Ti is the initial temperature of the gas and Tf is the final temperature of the gas. And nu capital C subscript capital V is equal to small m into small c subscript small v. Or capital C subscript capital V is equal to m naught into small c subscript small v, where m naught is the molar mass of the gas. Of course, as I told you, capital C subscript capital V represent the molar specificity of the gas at constant volume. Small c subscript small v represent the ordinary specificity of the gas at constant volume. Similarly, the quantity of heat energy absorbed by a gas when its temperature changes at constant pressure is given by delta Q subscript P. Delta Q subscript P is used to denote the heat energy absorbed by the gas when its temperature changes at constant pressure. That is equal to small m into small c subscript small p into delta T, or delta Q subscript P can be done nu capital C subscript capital P into delta T, where capital C subscript capital P is the molar specificity of the gas at constant pressure. Small c subscript small p is the ordinary specificity of the gas at constant pressure. So those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes. So I am going to show the continuation to this on the screen. Can write nu capital C subscript capital P equal to small m into small c subscript small p, or capital C subscript capital P is equal to m naught into small c subscript small p. That is molar specificity of the gas at constant pressure is equal to molecular weight of the gas into ordinary specificity of the gas at constant pressure. M naught represents the molar mass of the gas. Now the ratio of the specific heats of a gas at constant pressure and constant volume is denoted by letter gamma. The ratio of the specific heat of the gas at constant pressure and constant volume is denoted by gamma. So gamma can be written as capital C subscript capital P divided by capital C subscript capital P. That is gamma equal to molar specificity of the gas at constant pressure divided by molar specificity of the gas at constant volume. Gamma has no units. So molar specificity at constant pressure, as I told you, can be written as capital M naught into small ordinary specific heat at constant pressure. Molar specific heat at constant volume can be written as m naught into ordinary specific heat at constant volume. M naught is the molar mass of the gas. So gamma can also be written as ratio of the ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant pressure and ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant volume. Gamma represents the ratio of the specific heats of same gas at constant pressure and constant volume. The calculation of the value of gamma for different gases will be discussed in the kinetic theory of gases, in the chapter kinetic theory of gases, under the heading law of equipartition of energy. So for problems, you have to take these results for granted for the time being. For monoatomic gases, gamma equal to 5/3. And for diatomic gases, gamma equal to 7/5 or 1.4. So those who want to copy the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here. So next I am going to discuss about the first law of thermodynamics. All of you again concentrate to listen, stop writing. First law of thermodynamics is a consequence of law of conservation of energy applied to an isolated system. That is, a portion of the mass of a material separated from surroundings, we call it a system. It gives a relationship between the quantities of heat energy absorbed by the system and the external work done by system. Suppose if you consider any system, for example, gas contained in a cylinder. Provided with a frictionless movable piston. The gas contained cylinder is heated. So the temperature of the gas increases. At the same time, the gas is suppose allowed to expand so that its volume increases. Then the intensity of the gas increases when the temperature of gas increases. So I can say that part of the heat energy supplied to the gas is utilized for increasing the internal energy of the gas. And as the gas expands, we can say work is done by the gas on the surroundings. So we can say that part of the heat energy supplied to the gas is utilized for doing external work. According to law of conservation of energy, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another form. Therefore, first law of thermodynamics can be stated in this way. The heat energy absorbed by system will be equal to sum of the change in the internal energy of the system and the external work done by the system on the surroundings. So if mathematically delta Q suppose represent the quantity of heat energy absorbed by system, the system may be a gas in good number of problems, but not necessarily gas. First law of thermodynamics is applicable not only for gases, it can be applied for any closed system, for solid or liquid or gas. So delta U represents the change in energy of system, and delta W the work done by system. So the heat energy absorbed by system in a process will be equal to the sum of change in the internal energy of the system and external work done by the system in that process. So here delta Q represents the quantity of heat energy absorbed by system. Delta U represents change in energy of system. That is, delta U can be written as UF minus UI. UI represents the energy of system in the initial state. UF represents the energy of system in the final state. Delta W represents the work done by system. Of course, some of the books, instead of delta W, they may simply simply write W, which represents the work done by the system. So delta Q will be positive when heat energy absorbed by system in a process. Suppose some heat energy is lost by system in a given process, then delta Q will be negative for that process. Delta U will be positive when energy of the system increases. That is when energy in the final state is more than energy in the initial state. Delta U will be negative when energy of system decreases or UF is less than UI. So W is positive or delta W is positive when positive work is done by the system. Delta W will be negative when positive work is done on the system. But delta W in the equation I have written represents work done by the system on the surroundings. So the equation, it is understood that all the terms in the equation will on both sides, all the three terms would have same units, expressed in same units. So in the differential form, first law of thermodynamics can be done like this. The system absorbs an infinitesimally small amount of heat energy dQ in a process, and dW represents infinitesimally small amount of work done by the system. Then infinitesimally small change in energy in the process is given by du equal to dq minus dw. Or mathematically you can write dq equal to du plus dw. All of you just concentrate to listen, can copy later. So this equation dq equal to du plus dw represent the differential form of the first law of thermodynamics. So in general, the change in energy of a system, when the system passes from one state I to another state F in the indicated diagram or PV diagram, depends only on the initial and final state, but does not depend on the path, means process followed from the initial state to final state. Suppose the same system can pass from one initial state I to another final state F by three different thermodynamic processes or three different paths in the indicated diagram shown by 1 to 3. So for same initial state, and that means for same initial temperature and for same final temperature, the change in the energy of the system for given initial and final state will be the same for all the three different processes or paths in the indicated diagram. But work done by the system not only depends on the initial and final state, but also depends on the path followed between the initial and final states. Similarly, the heat energy delta Q absorbed by the system. When system passes from one state I to another, one equilibrium state I to another equilibrium, thermodynamic equilibrium state F, depends not only on the initial and final state, but also depends on the path followed, means process used, or process or changes that take place. So I would like to show you the notes for the discussion I have done about first law of thermodynamics now. Come on, look at the screen. I am going to show you the notes for the first law of thermodynamics, the statement. The heat energy delta Q absorbed by system in a process will be equal to the sum of the change in the energy delta U of system and the external work delta W done by the system in the process. So you can write mathematical delta Q equal delta U plus delta W when all the terms are expressed in same units. Come on, those who want to copy the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to this step. So I am going to show you the next slide on screen. Look at the screen. Can write delta U equal to UF minus UI. UI and UF denote the internal energies in the initial and final states of system. Delta Q will be positive when the heat energy is absorbed by system. Delta Q will be negative when heat energy is lost by system. So delta U will be positive when the energy of the system increases. Delta U will be negative when the energy of the system decreases. In case of gases, delta W is positive during the expansion of gas. Delta W is negative during the compression of the gas. Come on, go through the conclusions I have shown on the screen. Those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes now. So I am going to show you the next slide on screen. Differential form of first law of thermodynamics. TD means short form for thermodynamics. The system undergoes only an infinitesimal change in state, absorbing an infinitesimal amount of heat dQ and doing an infinitesimal amount of work dW. Then the infinitesimal change in internal energy du would be given by du equal dQ minus dW. From same equation we can write dQ equal du plus dW. This is the differential form of the first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics is a consequence of conservation of energy. Come on, take a pause and finish writing the notes up here. So those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here. Next, I am going to discuss the application of first law of thermodynamics for different types of processes. So look at the screen for the notes continuation to what I was showing in the previous slide. So when a thermodynamic system passes from state I to state F, the quantity delta U depends only upon the initial and final states. That means initial UI is the internal energy of the system with the initial equilibrium state. UF is the internal energy of the system with the final equilibrium state. And not at all on the path taken by the system between these states. But delta Q and delta W depend only on the initial and final states, but also on the path of the process. Those who are writing the notes, please finish writing the notes up to here. Those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here. So next I am going to discuss about application of first law of thermodynamics for different types of processes, starting from isochoric process. Now all of you please just concentrate to listen and stop writing. So isochoric process. So any process in which volume of system remains constant is called as isochoric process. Any process in which the volume of system remains constant is called isochoric process. So, or mathematically dV you can write 0. Work in the case of an ideal gas, when the volume of the gas changes by infinitesimally small amount dV at pressure P, then the work done by the gas is given by dW equal to PdV. So that means for the ideal gas, in isochoric process, volume is constant. So change in volume delta V or dV is 0, work done by the gas. dW will be 0 or delta W will be 0. So if you apply first law of thermodynamics, delta Q equal to delta U plus delta W for this process. Can write delta Q at constant volume is equal to delta U plus delta W will be 0 at constant volume. That means delta U will be equal to delta Q at constant volume. That means for an ideal gas in the isochoric process, whatever heat energy absorbed with the gas is entirely used only to increase its internal energy, and no external work is done by the gas. So, for a fixed mass of a gas or a solid, when volume remains constant, you can say that whatever heat energy absorbed by it at constant volume is entirely used up only for increasing the internal energy, and no extra work is done. But heat energy absorbed by the gas when it is heated at constant volume, when the temperature changes by a small amount, we can write dQV equal nu CV dt. So we can write mathematically du equal to dQ at constant volume. That means change in the internal energy of a fixed mass of an ideal gas when the temperature changes by infinitely small amount, dt is given by du equal to nu CV dt. The CV is the molar specific heat of the gas at constant volume. Nu is the quantity of the gas expressed in mole. As I discussed earlier, change in the internal fixed mass of an ideal gas depends only on, change in the internal fixed mass of an ideal gas with a given atomicity depends only on change in the temperature of the gas, but does not depend on the process or method used to change the temperature of the gas. Suppose if a gas is first heated at constant volume, next it is heated at constant pressure, next it undergoes an adiabatic process. If change in the temperature of the gas is same in all the cases, change in the temperature of the gas will also be same in all the cases. That means change in the temperature fixed mass of an ideal gas in any process will be same as the change in the energy of the gas in the case of isochoric process for same change in temperature for the same initial and final states. Therefore, change in the energy fixed mass of an ideal gas when the temperature of the gas changes by infinitesimally small amount dt in any process is given by same equation, du equal nu CV dt. Or in terms of ordinary specific heat at constant volume, you can add small m into small c small v into dt. So change in the energy fixed mass of an ideal gas in any process is given by the equation nu CV delta T, where CV is the molar specific heat of the gas at constant volume, delta T is the change in the temperature of gas. Nu represents the quantity of the gas expressed in mole. If you are given the ordinary specific heat at constant volume and mass of the gas, you can write the same result as small m into small c subscript small v into delta T. Small c subscript small v represent the ordinary specific heat of the gas at constant volume. So from same equation you can write du equal to, from same equation which I written previously in differential form, nu CV dt, CV can be written as 1 by nu into du by dt. If the number of moles is equal to 1, then CV is equal to du by dt. So the molar specific heat of the gas at constant volume is numerically equal to the increase in the energy of the gas per mole and for unit degree rise of temperature. So molar specific heat of the gas at constant volume is numerically equal to the increase in the energy of the gas per mole of the gas and per unit degree rise of temperature. So I am going to show you the notes for the same discussion which I have just done now for isochoric process. So I am going to show you the notes for same discussion which I have done Now, for isochoric process, those who are writing the notes, again get ready with your notebook and pen. Look at the screen. In isochoric, I am going to again summarize the discussion I have done for isochoric process. In isochoric process, volume of the system remains constant. For an ideal gas in isochoric process, V equal to constant. V means volume here. Delta V is 0 and delta W is 0. Applying first law of thermodynamics, TD means thermodynamics. dQ equal dU plus dW. For this process, we get dU equal dQ subscript V. And delta Q subscript V equal to delta U. Here we have taken work done as 0. Come on, those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here. I am going to show the continuation to this. Next, look at the next slide here. The heat energy absorbed by the gas during isochoric heating is used entirely to increase the internal energy of the gas. No extra work is done by the gas. Isochoric heating means when the gas is heated at constant volume. So, but dQ at constant volume can be done nu Cv dt or. Therefore, in general, du can be done as nu Cv dt or Cv equal 1 by nu du by dt. So, the molar specificity of gas at constant volume is numerically equal to the increase in energy per mole per unit degree rise of temperature. Come on, those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes now. I would like to show the continuation to this. The change in energy fixed mass of an ideal gas in any process given by delta U equal nu Cv delta T. And delta T equal Tf minus Ti, the change in the temperature of the gas. U is the quantity of the gas expressed in mole. Those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here. So I have shown the PV diagram, which is called indicator diagram for isochoric process for the ideal gas. So at constant volume, as we discussed in gases, as I have discussed in gases earlier, when the volume of the gas is constant, I mean the volume fixed mass of a gas is constant, then pressure of the gas is directly proportional to the temperature of the gas. So when the temperature of the gas increases at constant volume, pressure increases. That is, final pressure will go down the initial pressure. That is an isochoric heating. And the temperature of the gas decreases at constant volume, called isochoric cooling. Final temperature is less than the initial temperature and final pressure is less than the initial pressure in the second graph. So left side is the graph for isochoric heating, for right side is the graph for isochoric cooling. So those who want to copy the notes, please finish copying the graphs. So next I am going to discuss about isobaric process. Now all of you stop reading, just listen here. So first I would like to discuss about isobaric process. So any process which takes place at constant pressure is called isobaric process. That means if the external pressure on the system remains constant, then the process is said to be isobaric process. So work done by a fixed mass of a substance when its volume changes by infinitesimal small amount dV at constant pressure P can be written as dW equal to PdV. So total work done by a fixed mass of an ideal gas when its volume changes from Vi to Vf given by W equal to integral dW, or we write integral PdV V equal to Vi to V equal to Vf. All of you please just concentrate only to listen. Don't write running notes when I am explaining. I will show you the notes separately now. So if the pressure of the gas is constant, then you can put P outside the integral symbol. Then W can be written as P into integral dV. Vi to Vf. Integral dV equal to V. So Pf, this you can write P into Vf minus Vi. So W equal to P delta V. Where delta V equal to Vf minus Vi is the change in the volume of the gas. So work done by the gas when its volume changes by delta V at constant pressure P can be written as P delta V. Can also express the result in terms of change in temperature. If you apply the perfect gas equation in the initial state, you can write PVI equal to nu R Ti. Apply the molar gas constant. Nu represents the quantity of the gas expressed in mole. Capital T subscript I represent the initial temperature of the gas. If you apply perfect gas equation in the final state, PVF we can write nu R Tf. Nu represents the quantity of gas expressed in mole. Capital R is the constant called the molar gas constant. Tf represents the temperature of the gas in the final state. You subtract this first equation from second equation. Can write PVF minus PVI is equal to nu R into Tf minus Ti. Or you can write P into Vf minus Vi because nu R into Tf minus Ti. Or you can write P delta V is equal to nu R delta T. When delta T represents change in the temperature of the gas. So work done by fixed mass of gas when its volume changes at constant pressure P is given by P delta V, which you can also write nu R delta T. Where Kepler the molar gas constant or universal gas constant. Nu represents the quantity of the gas expressed in mole. Delta T is the change in the temperature of the gas. So change in the internal energy of fixed mass of an ideal gas in any process is given by the formula du equal to nu Cv dt. That we change in the internal energy of fixed mass of a gas when the temperature changes by infinitesimal small amount. dt you can write du equal to nu Cv dt. Therefore, for an ideal gas, in isobaric process, pressure remains constant. So heat energy absorbed by the gas at constant pressure. The temperature changes by infinitesimal small amount dt. You can write dq subscript P represent the quantity of heat absorbed by the gas at constant pressure when the temperature changes by infinitesimal small amount dt. You can write nu Cp dt. Where capital C subscript capital P the molar specific heat of the gas at constant pressure. And work done by the gas when the volume changes by infinitesimal small amount dV can write PdV, or you can write nu R dt. And the pressure of the gas is constant. So if you apply first law of thermodynamics for this process, you can find the relation between the two specific dq equal to du plus dw. That means, suppose if a gas is first heated at constant volume, next it is heated at constant pressure, so that temperature changes by same amount dt in both the cases. Then du will be same in both the cases, but dq will be different. In the gas heated at constant pressure, dq can be nu cp dt. So substituting here du equal to nu cp dt on the left side. Du equal to nu cv dt. dw equal to nu r dt. So you can take nu dt common on the right side. So if you divide this equation, please don't write running notes. I will give you the notes later in my next class for same discussion. Dividing by dt into nu dt, we get here Cp equal to Cv plus R. That is molar specific heat at constant pressure is equal to molar specific heat of the gas at constant volume plus molar gas constant. So difference of molar specific heat at constant pressure and molar specific heat at constant volume of any gas will be equal to the molar gas constant or universal gas constant, provided all the three terms are expressed in same units. So difference of the molar specific heats of any gas at constant pressure and constant volume will be equal to the universal gas constant. The value of the molar gas constant is same for different gases. Therefore, difference of the molar specific heats of any ideal gas at constant pressure and constant volume will be same. I'll continue my discussion in my next class.